I'm Trish Rodriguez. I'm a real estate agent with REMAX Town & Country, the Richard Kelley Group. And I feel like I have been doing this for a very, very long time. Even as a young kid, my mom was actually a real estate agent for a little while I was growing up. And I was born in Nashville, Tennessee, but I moved here to Georgia when I was 6. So Georgia is absolutely my home. And after high school, I actually got into the apartment industry. And that is where my real love, my own personal real love for real estate really began. I did that for several years, and then I went on to work for a real estate agent. Eventually got my own real estate license and then became a buyer's agent. I loved it. I absolutely loved every part of it, but I had very young kids at the time, and I just found that real estate was very, very time demanding for my young family, and so it just was time for me to move on. I kept my license active and I stayed in the real estate industry. So I ended up working for a real estate attorney where I learned a lot about real estate from a different perspective. And then I eventually completed my accounting degree and went on to work for real estate firms as an accountant, where obviously I learned a lot more about real estate. So throughout the years, we had friends that had moved to the Blairsville area, and we would come and visit them a couple times a year. And every time we came, we fell more and more in love with the area. And we really wanted to be able to make the move here, but we lived and worked about 3 hours south of there. We were south of Atlanta, and it just wasn't right. The timing wasn't right. And then 2020 happened, and we realized that everybody's working from home. We can work from anywhere. So we decided that now was the time. So after a lot of prayer and trust in God, we decided to make the move. And so we put things in motion, and God took over, and it was a whirlwind of activity, and it probably was all in God's planning for it to happen that way, because it did not give us time to sit back and think about how we were upending our lives or turning it upside down. So I've been married to my husband Mark for 22 years. We have 2 children, Sarah and Jacob, that are teenagers in the Union County school system. And making this move was the absolute best thing that we could have ever done for our family. It was the best move for our family, our marriage, our kids. Every single one of us have thrived in some way with this move. So it was just the best thing that we could have ever done. After we moved here, I felt like real estate was calling to me again. And of course now in a different way, because I'd been working in the real estate industry for so long, but now I felt like I was back to being called towards working with buyers. I knew the stress and the frustration that we had dealt with moving from a different area to a new place. And I knew that there were other people that wanted to move to this area and that would be experiencing the same thing that we had gone through. And so that was really who I wanted to focus on. I wanted to help people that were in that position to help try to lessen that burden. So I started a YouTube channel all about the North Georgia mountains with the intention of focusing on bringing value to the clients that I was seeking to bring in. I knew that there were people out there that were just like us that wanted to move to this beautiful area, and they needed to know about it. They needed to know things like restaurants and groceries and grocery stores and hospitals and schools and all the things that you need to know that's important when you move to a new area. So I was really trying to focus on bringing value to them through these videos. That has allowed me to meet and help so many new people, and I really think that that's what sets me apart as an agent, because I have been in their shoes. I know what it's like to move to a new area. I know how stressful it is. I know how frustrating it can be, and I have been in their shoes. So that helps me to know what they're going through and to be able to help them through that process. I think that's the most rewarding part, is being able to help my clients and know that they've had a truly good experience through the process. I think that's what real estate is all about, helping people, achieving their goals, and doing it in a way that everybody feels good about.